Welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Sherry Holm is going to be joining us. She's with West Central Initiative. She's going to talk about a great marketing campaign that's going on right now in the region called Live Wide Open, and it's something that you're going to want to share with your friends and family who aren't as lucky as we are to live here in Otter Tail County. So stay tuned to find out more about that. Also joining us on the show is Trevor Rossum. Trevor is the owner of the local Serve Pro franchise of Otter Tail and Douglas counties, and he's going to be telling us a little bit more about what he can do for your home or business. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I can tell you it's a great place to work. Everyone that you work with, it kind of becomes a family here.
I find joy and love in my work. I love my job.
I would definitely tell someone to apply at Pioneer. It's a good opportunity.
Pioneer Care, it's a family kind of feel when you come in. You know, they treat you good.
I can't imagine not working here. This is where my heart is, with people who we care for.
We do an important job, but we have a good time doing it. It's a fun crew, best job in the world.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I am joined with Sherry Holm from West Central Initiative, but we are not talking specifically about West Central Initiative today, but one of the really cool things that West Central is getting behind that a lot of us can relate to, and it's the idea of Live Wide Open.
Live Wide Open is a new regional marketing campaign, and West Central Initiative worked with the Labor Force Development Council to launch it. And I know Fergus Falls Area Chamber is one of the members of the Labor Force Development Council. So you were instrumental in helping to have this regional marketing campaign come to life.
Well, and Sherry, I remember years, it was probably several years ago that we got together in a room and brainstormed. And, since, I've been involved with the Chamber for about 10 years. In the first few years, the economy kind of hit a little bit of a lull. And so we kind of forgot about the fact that there'll be people retiring and that businesses will need more employees. But as the economy improved and businesses were growing and people were hiring, we realized we maybe don't have enough people here. And we started talking about how this is such a great place to live. The West Central region, including, of course, Fergus Falls and Otter Tail Lakes country and the other counties in the area, such a great place to live, and so many people come on vacation here. Why wouldn't we want to invite them to make this their home?
Right. There are a lot of employers that West Central Initiative talks to that says, we need workers. In particular, we need skilled workers. Well, while we were hearing this story, we were also going around to the different counties that we serve, including Otter Tail County, and we heard stories about people who have chosen to live in West Central Minnesota. They love the life that it provides. And in a lot of cases, they know about West Central in Minnesota. They have lived here, they grew up here, they went to school here, they have family here, they vacation here, they recreate here. And we thought that there could be a connection between those two stories, the need for skilled workers and this group of people who really love it here in West Central Minnesota. So how do we connect the two is the question. And we thought we want to remind these people of what they love in West Central Minnesota and what's actually available out here, all the jobs and all the employers that are available for them. And let's see if we can bring them together.
Kind of using a solution of the whole vacationing and the reasons people love this area to bring more people to the area to help our businesses and our communities grow. There is a workforce shortage,
right?
And we need some folks to make this their home. And I think what's been neat through the campaign is showcasing personal stories of folks who've chosen to live in this area.
Correct.
Maybe they weren't born and raised here, or maybe they were and then they went away for 10 or 12 or 20 years, but give people reasons and tell those stories like yours.
My story.
So tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I actually just completed 10 years here in Fergus Falls at West Central Initiative. And I did go to school in Moorhead at Concordia. And I didn't ever expect that I would move back to this region, but heard about this position open as the communications director. And my husband and I, well, we took a leap of faith. Is
Yeah,
how
where
we
were you
talk
moving
it.
from?
From the Twin Cities.
Okay, so that's a big leap.
Yes, it was. I'd lived there for more than 20 years. And we decided, okay, we're going to give this a try. We're going to give it a go. And my husband, he's a small town boy. He knew what life was like in rural Minnesota. I really didn't. So
Small town for you was Moorhead.
Yes,
Compared to the Twin Cities.
in fact, my husband kept saying, Fergus Falls isn't small, Sherry. He'd say, because for him, you know, a small town was like...
Elizabeth.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So we moved here, and we really did create what we call a live wide open life, because it's giving you the breathing space to do what you love, the ability to have a better work-life balance.
Right.
Because you're not necessarily, you know, I used to have to worry about traffic gridlock. But, you
How
know,
early you had to leave to go to work.
yes, I had to plot out how I was going to get to work, the easiest route to go. If I had to be at some place after work, it could be a real issue too.
Sure.
For some people, it's like recreation. I mean, recreation's right outside the door. It takes minutes to get to a lake or to go for a hike. And where for other people, they have to drive a long way to get that, but it's right here. It just has allowed me to have a better work-life balance. I can get involved in more things than I ever had in the Twin Cities. And arts and culture, something that people worry about. I have been amazed at what I have been able to experience here in Fergus Falls and West Central Minnesota, because the opportunity has been here for me.
Isn't it fantastic?
It is, yes.
And that's, you know, I think one of the reasons why we're working on this campaign is to share stories like yours,
Right.
and for giving folks the kind of method to share their story and tell about why they've chosen this region to make this their home, to raise a family or to retire in, or, you know, what have you, so that we can share it with others. Give that people reason. You know, see, they're doing it, so, you know, if your parents or if your grandparents and you've got kids or grandkids that are living in other areas and they've always wanted to come back home, we can make that happen.
Right, and so there's an opportunity for everybody here. We have a great website. It's called Live Wide Open, livewideopen.com. You can go there and read the stories that you mentioned. You can find out who our partners are, employers who have embraced this Live Wide Open marketing campaign and are promoting it. You can go to their sites and see what kind of jobs they have available. You can find out about the communities in our region, which includes Fergus Falls, and see what they have to offer in this region as well.
And so that, I think that's a nice tool for folks that are listening. If you have friends or family that live outside the area, rather than it just being on your word as to why they should move here, send them to the website. Have them take a look at that to see what it's all about and what people really appreciate. You know, sometimes people think, well, if they're from this big city or Chicago, or there's so many things they're going to miss, but there's so many things they'll gain.
It's true.
And I think time being one of the big ones.
Right. There's also we have a Facebook page,
So
Live Wide Open MN. We have a Twitter page. We are building a YouTube channel right now, so you can watch a lot of different videos about what life is like here in West Central Minnesota.
Yeah.
We have something new on our website that I'm really excited about, and they're e-postcards. We have 6 of them right now. So you can go to the site and you can click one that you like and send it to a loved one, to your friends, to encourage them to think about reasons why they should consider moving here to West Central Minnesota.
Definitely. We need everyone who's in the region to tell others about why it's great to live here.
And there's also a place on the website that if you've got the perfect story about, you know, you came back or you decided that you were going to to stay here and make your life here. We want to hear those stories. We're continually adding stories of people who've chosen to live in this region and are having a great life.
It's really been fun hearing some of the stories and getting to know some of the people of all ages who've made the West Central region their new place of home, and how they're getting involved in the community and all the different ways that they can be active. And again, the Live Wide Open being, we've got wide open spaces, you've got space to do things, and I always think of Live Wide Open like maybe you're on a snowmobile full throttle. Going down the trail or out on one of the lakes or one of those things. Right. Pairing those great opportunities together. So, Sherry, we want to thank, of course, West Central Initiative for getting behind this and helping launch it, and of course all the different partners in the region who have invested in it. We have plenty of investment opportunities, because the more partners that we have, the more we can keep it going.
Right, yes.
Anything else we should talk about when it comes to Live Wide Open?
Just, it's something that really we're hoping to create a movement out of, and have people like you, like me, spread the news about why we love West Central Minnesota, why we love Fergus Falls.
Yeah.
Why people can find it in Fergus Falls.
Definitely.
And live the life that they want here.
Absolutely. Well, thanks to you and the team at West Central Initiative and all the folks who've partnered, whether it's the communities and the counties and all the businesses who have invested in this as a way for us to help grow our communities and make this even a better place to live.
My pleasure.
You bet. We'll be back after a short break.
What are good relationships? What are they made of? At American Federal, the answer is people. The business of farming is a lot like a good sports team, working together for a common goal with the knowledge, commitment, and passion to get the job done. Whether it's sports or farming, American Federal knows good relationships come from good people, and that's something to really cheer about. Start a relationship today with Ag and Business bankers Mark Eifert and Chris Marvel at American Federal in Fergus Falls. Member FDIC.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm joined with Trevor Rossum with ServPro of Otter Tail and Douglas counties, one of our newest chamber members. But Trevor, I gotta say, you know how to get involved.
I'm
so
trying.
Thank you.
I'm trying very hard, and I appreciate all you've done.
Oh, you're welcome.
Fergus Chamber, Fergus Falls Area Chamber has done a really good job of helping me get involved, and has a lot to offer their members. So it's been great.
And it's there's a lot of pieces when it comes to starting your own business or launching your own franchise, and I think one of the probably the toughest parts is getting the word out there, and so we're happy to help do that part, because honestly with ServPro we're not going to be able to help you clean or mitigate.
Are you sure?
Or you probably don't want me to do that, but we can help get the word out there. So thanks for taking the time to come in and tell folks on our Find It in Fergus Falls show that they will find ServPro vehicles and service in the community.
Yeah, we sure hope so. We have some vans. We have larger vans and 1-ton vans that haul a lot of equipment, and we have some smaller vans, Ford Transit Connect, that I'm driving today. And the green, you can't miss the green. It's very bright and it sticks out really well. It's great for marketing. It is very difficult. You mentioned getting started. Difficult. I'm wearing many hats right now. And
you're the business owner, the franchise owner, right?
I am the franchise owner.
But
I'm a production technician. I'm a marketing representative, and then an office manager all at the same time. So it is very difficult. I bought a model, buying a franchise, but there's still a lot of work to be done to grow the business. Some of our competition has been in business and in the communities that we represent for many, many years. So I'm a little behind the 8 ball, which I'm always up for a challenge, but it takes time to get my name out there. I'm not the most patient person, so I got to take a step back, breathe a little bit, and just start marketing more to marketing through the chambers in Alexandria and here and maybe in other areas in Otter Tail counties. Just prioritizing that. It takes time and patience, but
well, and a lot of folks may know of ServPro. I see the advertisements on TV. They say like it never even happened. So tell folks, maybe they haven't seen the ads, or what kind of services you guys offer and what you can do for people.
So like it never happened is a great tagline or theme line or marketing strategy. We do a lot of fire, water, and mold mitigation. That's the majority of what we do.
Sure.
We do some residential cleaning. Maybe it's getting a house ready to sell. So for the realtors that are out there listening, we can help your your homeowners get their houses cleaned up, whether it's cleaning carpets, it could be cleaning walls, just getting it cleaned up and ready to sell.
And especially, you think of the holidays and families getting together, and maybe they get together and maybe mom or dad or grandma and grandpa maybe should be moved into assisted living, or we starting those conversations and what to do with the house, and really it hasn't been scrubbed down for many years, and a daunting task for the families. They can call ServPro and you guys can come in and get it, like you said, get it prepared to put on the market.
Sure can, yes. There's, it's cleaning's one thing, but there might be an odor in a house from carpet that might be 20, 30 years old.
Sure.
You're supposed to clean your carpets. I learned this as I was going through the new franchise training program at the corporate offices, ServPro, a number of months back, but you're supposed to get your carpets cleaned once every 6 months. And I know we don't do that in our home. That's one thing.
Not yet.
Not yet. Still haven't. Well, I guess we're going on 6 months
You're
now.
probably
so
the
I need to get
last
it
person
done.
on the list to get done, right?
Yes, that's true. And my wife keeps asking for it because we got a new puppy, and with a new puppy, you know what happens when you're trying to get him potty trained. But the other thing is just certain odors in the house. Our house is built in the 1970s, and there's just an odor to it. We can do some thermal fogging and some ozoning and different types of things to help get some of the, I'd say stenches out there, that's a little strong word, but some of the odors out of the house, we can sure try to help out with that as well, especially if you're getting ready to sell it or just
neutralizing is a big thing
an
too,
odor.
because maybe it was somebody smoked a pipe for many years, or
Smoking,
maybe at the home they had a dog washing service, or what have you, or who knows, farming, cooking, different types of things. There's things that make buyers very sensitive, that they don't experience. You kind of get used to some of those things. So those are some of the things that you can do as folks are getting ready to sell. How about if there's, we think of things happening this time of year with the cold and pipes bursting and things like that. What can you do about that?
Sure, we could. Well, that's the majority of our business is residential mitigation of water damage. So it could be a broken pipe, it could be a leaky pipe, it could be
Sewer
pipes
backup?
bursting, sewer backup. I'm going to look
Talk
at
about stench.
a house at noon today that had some sewer backup, so we're going to clean that. It's dried out, but there's still an odor, and we'll kill any potential bacteria growth that might be happening in there. But the majority of it is water fire mitigation. You starting up the furnace or a wood stove for the first time and have a puff back. There's a lot of different things that can happen. And with the cold weather, going from cold, and then if it warms up a little bit, pipes could burst.
Sure.
So we do a lot of drying out, cleaning up and drying out after water damage.
And really thorough too.
And very thorough. And my goal with ServPro and the franchise that we're going to grow in this community, I'm going to say West Central Minnesota, because we will service outside of our territory, being Otter Tail, Douglas, and Grant counties. We've serviced all the way down to Wilmer, over by Morris, all the way down to Ortonville. Otter Tail County, as we know, is a very large county.
Very big.
And a beautiful county at that, but lost my train of thought there.
But serving a very wide area for folks too.
And my goal is to communicate where I was going with that. In a water damage, helping the homeowner or the business owner, if we're in the business for that matter, understand why we have to do what we have to do.
Sure.
If we start pulling out carpet pad or taking off baseboard trim, there's reasons for that, and my goal is to communicate and make sure the homeowner is comfortable with what we're doing. Not only communicating with the homeowner, but to the insurance agent or adjuster, whoever's involved, just to make sure everybody's on the same page and the homeowner gets what they deserve in the water loss.
Right, too, and you had mentioned, the need for patience too. Whether you're a homeowner or a business, you just want to get things back to the way they were before quickly. And you might think, well, this is good enough. But you guys have the science and the experience to know that there are some steps that need to be taken to make it so that it doesn't, so you don't have mold coming back.
That's true.
A year later.
It's quite a process too. So typically we can get a home dried out in 3 days, but it depends on the extent of the damage.
Sure.
It goes beyond that. Setting the proper expectations to the homeowner, because they want it dried out in 3 days and put back together. Well, it takes time. It's quite a process. So that's the hardest part is, for me, is to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. And I'm a people pleaser, so it's like I want to communicate and I want you to understand and feel comfortable with what we're doing, why we're doing, and the time frame it's going to take to put it back like it never happened.
Definitely. So one of the things that I found interesting too is the fact that you've got a variety of chemicals and organic materials and things that you use.
Yeah,
we were
so-
talking about that on the radio the other day.
Sure, yeah, thanks.
Tell
for
us a little
bringing
bit
that
more
up.
about that.
So we use disinfectants if in a sewer backup or a mold job to kill any mold spores or kill any
Get rid of the
growth,
bad stuff.
the bad growth that might be happening. And we have several different products, but there's two of them that I really focus on, and the reason I focus on them is because organic's a big thing nowadays, and essential oils, whether it's plant-based or oils. We have two products that we like to use. One's plant-based organic that will kill bacteria, and then the other one would be essential oils based. And then we have some other products that are strictly chemicals that we have to have sign off on forms from the
Sure.
homeowner when we use that product. So we really lean towards either the plant-based or the essential oil-based antibacteria agent.
Yeah, so lots of options, and I think one of the great things too is that, like I said, you're locally owned business. You're here in Fergus Falls. You're serving Otter Tail and Douglas counties, and you're in the community quite a bit too. So it's not that you call a 1-800 number and somebody comes from, who knows where to take care of your problem. You've got somebody that's in our community, and I think that's fantastic.
Well, we can be reached by 1-800-SERVPRO or locally. Our phone number is 320-219-6505. We have a webpage. You can go to servpro.com or Servpro of Douglas and Otter Tail counties. But we are local. There are 1,700 franchises across the country to help us out if we do need help. And we have a very good community of franchise owners, and that's one thing that really interests me about getting into Servpro and the mitigation. I've been very fortunate with my neighboring franchises have been wonderful to help out. They've been great.
Answer questions.
And I've been able to help them out when just getting going. I was able to help them out early on, and it was a great learning experience for me. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to grow in the counties that we serve, and just to grow our business. And I was very interested in your talk earlier. The hardest part is going to be able to find employees because we have very low unemployment rates in these communities. So it makes it very difficult. And some very good companies in these communities that do a good job of keeping their employees
happy and
whatnot.
Yeah, well, this is a great area, and by providing high quality services for homeowners and commercial locations, just keeps it even better too. So anything else we should add when it comes to talking about Servpro of Otter Tail and Douglas County?
I don't think so. I just thank you for letting me join you today.
You bet. Well,
and helping me getting involved in the community. It's been great, so I appreciate it.
And of course, all the contact information is on the Chamber's website at fergusfalls.com too. So Trevor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Lisa.
We'll be back after a little break.
How does this work?
Just set your baseline goal resistance, interval durations, pulmonary range, caloric burn, and incline variance.
Tired of everything being so difficult?
But how do I slow it down?
At Park Region Telephone and Otter Tail Telecom, we make things easy. Like our multi-room HD DVR. One button lets you easily record a single show or an entire series. Build your own custom library to watch on any TV in your home. Park Region Telephone and Otter Tail Telecom. It's all about you.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. We want to thank our great guests today, Sherry from West Central Initiative and Trevor with Servpro for joining us today. Just want to remind you that we do have Fergus Bucks available at the Chamber office. They make a great gift for anyone. They're available in $5 denominations in any amount that you would desire, and they can be used at any one of 330 Chamber members here in the Fergus Falls area. So we want to thank you for purchasing Fergus Bucks. All that money stays right here in our community. I'm Lisa Workman. This has been Find It in Fergus Falls, and we'll see you again next week.